the community partners today is the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles, which I happen to be the director of programming of. And April this year, we had Miss Rima Das at our festival with her previous film, Village Rockstars. It won our grand jury prize. It's won prizes all over the festival world. It is currently India's Oscar entry. She has been traveling the world for the past year with that film, which took her 3 years to make, and somewhere in there she found the time to make another beautiful film called BULBUL Can Sing. I don't know how she did it, but it is a wonderful film set in Assam, a beautiful region of India that Rima has lovingly captured in her films before. And she does that here again, but she also, you know, as we know, the things we love, we also sometimes have to critique, and she casts a critical eye on kind of traditional gender roles that are held up in the area that affect the three young leads of this story, which is beautiful, and I'm so happy we have Rima here to introduce it. Please give me a hand in welcoming Rima Das.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you everyone. And he has said like already so much. This last film, Village Rocks, is also very special, and this one is also very special. Both these films kind of a great learning process for me. It's like a film school, and even my life changed with these two films. And this one is more challenging than Village Rocks, just more complicated, and I look forward to talk to you after watching the film. Thank you. And thank you AFI like selecting the film. We are honored. Thank you.
We will be back after the film for Q&A. Please stick around for that.
Everyone, please help me welcome back the director of BULBUL Can Sing, Rima Das. We'll be turning questions over to the audience in a few moments, but I'll start things off and get your questions ready. Rima, congratulations on another beautiful film. This is your second film about kind of a younger generation in Assam, a teenage generation, and I was wondering what attracts you to these stories.
What attracted me to the story?
Working with a younger...
It's like when I was working like with children in Village Rockstars, I loved connecting with children in village. They are so transparent, innocent, and after that I was thinking, what is next? Then I thought definitely teenagers, like I want to explore. And somehow when living in Mumbai, I'm back in my village. When I started shooting Village Rockstars and then BULBUL Can Sing, somehow I'm also living, you know, my childhood, my like teenage kind of. So I thought it's so, and again I wanted to explore, like, because I left my village quite early, and when now we are living in a very different world with like digital world, you can say. And then I really wanted to know how things changed, you know, when I used to be a teenager and now, like, what is changing. So I also wanted to explore, and that's how I started. Yes, thank you.
And this story is, it's such a young, innocent love that turns tragic due to closed-mindedness in the village. And I was wondering if there were certain experiences you witnessed yourself, maybe not exactly like we see in this film, but similar in your...
Yes, there was actually, and mainly that tragic, like, she was my best friend, and something this kind of happened, I think, in 90s, and she just died, you know. And still it haunted me, still it like kind of a painful for me. And recently when I started actually developing this story, because I work in a very different process, like I didn't have a bound script, I write, I shoot, I write, I explore. So it's together going, And then I just heard someone, like, we're just talking, and then I came to know in school they restricted 3 girls, Then I even I met that girl, I visited her, and I just felt like that, oh my goodness, like, it's still the same story going on, and the love, friendship, so natural, and it's so painful, like everything. So it's there. It's very much exists, and I experience in my life also. Yes.
And we see the love between young boys and girls, but there's also the character of Sumu, who's like a character we don't normally see out of India, and an experience that's not normally depicted on screen. And it was such a beautiful characterization of this boy, and I was wondering about the casting process for him and how you developed that character.
That character is actually kind of real. I have seen in Village, and it's surprising that people are not in Village. They are aware that it exists, And I found this boy. Actually, I know this boy when he was I think around 10 years, and 9-10 years, I think, when I was making my first film. So he used to be around, and actually when I saw him struggling, with his identity, with his sexuality, even his family consider him, he's a boy. But in Village, they always, like knowingly or unknowingly, they like to tease him. So I started a documentary with him. But later on, maybe, I don't know how, when I started writing BULBUL Can Sing, then I felt like, why don't I put him, and it was very difficult because he is a real character. All these actors, they are non-professional actors, and apart from that lady, Bonnie's mother, she is a professional actor. And about this character, it was a very hard decision, because I had to convince him also, because I am making movies in Village, but I have responsibility also, like when movies out, how he is going to take it, his family, and he is like Village, other people, how going to take it is so that is the reason also. And since he doesn't even know, like, where he stands, so that is the reason also I kept it very subtle. And I also asked him, I explained to him, his family also, this is what I'm going to do. It's a very brave step. He was very uncomfortable in the beginning. Then I said, like, you are going to suffer anyhow, if you don't act, then also you are going to suffer, and you are so much interested in acting. It will be a very brave step, and probably I'm very hopeful after seeing this movie, many people will think twice before teasing.
That's the sense I got from it. Like, maybe they have not considered the pain he's going through, what he's been put through,
so.
and this film could change their mind. Has it been seen in Assam yet?
So.
Has it been seen in Assam yet?
No, not.
But coming soon. Well, I want to ask if the audience has any questions for Rima. Yes, we have one back there.
Yes, I missed seeing Village Rockstars at the Pan Asian Festival. So, the Asian World Festival. Where would we be able to see it soon?
The question is, where can we see Village Rockstar soon? Jasmine, do you?
We're going to be screening Village Rockstars at USC on December 2nd and on December 3rd at the Aero Cinematheque.
Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
right. Yeah. You can follow
Please
Rima on
come.
Twitter.
Yeah, Rima's on Twitter and all of this, and Indian Film Festival Los Angeles at IFFLA on Twitter will be promoting that as well.
Thank you for all your support.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Do you have more questions for Rima?
How difficult was to direct a non-professional actors?
The question is, how difficult was it to direct non-professional actors?
It's not that difficult for me, because when I made my first film, 2009, then also I worked with non-professional actors, And when my first fiction, Until This Day, Man with the Binoculars, I worked with professional actors but what I found when I was working with them that like, because I'm not from any film school and I don't have that experience, so I found it is very limited, like working with professional actors, because time, money and everything so limited. And I love working with non-professional actors because you get that freedom, and they do, as a newcomer, they trust me completely. That believing in me give me confidence to work with them. They don't question. They are very transparent, innocent. That helps me to create what I want to, my vision, actually. So I actually love to be around with them. Yeah. So thank you.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
beautiful.
Thank
We have a
you
question
so
up here.
much. Thank you.
I just wanted to say congratulations, and what's next for you?
Question is, what's next for you?
What next? 2-3 ideas. I'm working hard actually. Last 5 years, I was like wondering like how I'm working, because these 2 films we don't have crew, so it's very hard mentally, physically. I need a break, and after that probably would like to challenge myself, because that's how I get that satisfaction. So let's see. Even I don't know. I also like to explore. I don't like to think much. So let's see what is next. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how long, a wonderful film again.
Thank
How
you so
long did
much.
you take to make this film this time? I know the Village Rockstar was an ongoing process, but it seems like Bulbul Can Sing, you finished production pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just to give
yes.
background, so
Actually,
sorry, I was going to
yeah.
explain for the audience. So, the production for Village Rockstars was a process that took about 3 years for Rima, through shooting and editing and all of that. And so the question is,
This
for
one
Bulbul, what is the
yeah,
process
I started 1 year, I think, but mostly I shot last 6 months. Around, I think I worked 50 days. And when I was working with children, I thought children will be more challenging. But when I started working with teenagers, I found that, oh my goodness, it's much more challenging. They are very moody. It's very difficult, children were there always pushing me when we are going shooting next. These are there, I'll go there, they are in there, no, I have to wait for them 1 or 2 hours, they are getting ready. So they're
Different.
yeah, they are different. And then I thought because they are non-professional, I cannot take risk also. It's very risky, if you, with children also, not with non-professional actors, because sometimes they don't understand, what you are doing. They might get demotivated, you never know. So when I started, I thought I just need to finish it. And sometimes one of the girls, they can fall in love with someone, and the boyfriend can say, you can't act. It's the possibilities. I'm telling her, these are the truths. So yeah, I managed, I think. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
I think we have time for 1 or 2 more, if there's any more. Right here.
Hello. Yeah.
Involved in this film?
Sorry?
Was I have a family involved in this film?
The question is any of your family involved in
My
this film?
family. I'd like to introduce also. Can you please come, Mallika? And
Here, Malika, give me the camera.
He's recording
Please.
everything right now.
So, Village Rockstars, when I started doing Village Rockstars, and then Bulbul Can Sing. Actually, Bulbul Can Sing, she is my only assistant for every department. And she did the location sound also. She is my cousin. And without her, I am nothing. So, Village Rockstars, still children used to help. Teenagers, they didn't help me. So, she's the only, yes. So, actually, I'm really grateful and thankful to her.
And there's some background here. And so Village Rockstars also won the National Award for Best Film in India. And I believe Malika won a national award too, right? Am I
Yeah,
correct?
she got for location sound national
For the
award.
sound
yeah.
recording.
Yes, yes.
So I'll wrap it up with one last question. So we were talking about how this film has the potential to change minds, and there's an interesting bit at the end where there's kind of, you show the difference about how the men talk about the issues that the children are having versus how the women talk about it, and the women are kind of moving forward, and like at the end we see some peace between Bulbul and her mother about follow your heart. Do you feel like women are kind of leading the way to changing minds on this?
Get you.
So at the end of the film, the men are kind of talking about
Right.
physical love before marriage, it's wrong.
Right.
And then the women are saying, you know, I don't really get that, why are they
Yes,
making it so
yes.
confusing? Do you feel like women are more in tune with how to move forward with
Ah,
making it a better world for these children?
complicated. It's like very individual. Yeah, yes. Women, you can find man, woman both, you know, like progressive and how their belief, you know, like kind of. So I think from both sides, what I have researched also, yes, like it's very difficult to say, okay, more women or more man, they believe. So it equal, kind of, yes.
Well, it's a beautiful film. Again, thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Be sure on your way out. Be sure on your way out to give your audience award ballots for a volunteer. And thank you again for joining us today at FIFA.